Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. General Kenobi.
General Kenobi. Clayton,
Yes.
uh, I, I believe that our audience has no reason to believe that that's your name because right now a hippie has just called you that on their screen and you haven't confirmed it yourself. So, would you like to tell everybody your name and introduce yourself to our wonderful audience today?
Hello, everyone. I am Clayton, or occasionally known as Halo Kirby, former stop motion animator, current tabletop DM of a variety of different games, including most prominently a game for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I collect stuff, I play a lot of games, maybe too many games, and have spent way too much money on Warhammer 40k.
Fantastic. Well, my name's Ethan. I go by Flint Quill online, and let's see. I'm a student at Claremont Graduate University, currently pursuing a PhD in math, and trying to keep my sanity all the while. And I enjoy writing music and listening to music and consuming, analyzing, and writing essays about art in general. Occasionally, those essays will make it online in the form of YouTube videos. And I also enjoy the occasional pogo sticking, the occasional ping ponging, and the occasional making contracts and logos for non-existent companies. Uh, although, although I will say, the most recent example of this is no longer an example. It is in fact a counterexample, because the logo that I have made is now for an existent company. We are standing right here, hosting the inaugural episode of the ODDCAST. How are you feeling in this formative moment, Clayton?
I am feeling fantastic and very excited because we are recording this the day after the 30th anniversary of Pokemon and the 30th Pokemon Day. Meaning there was a giant Pokemon presentation that we can talk about, as well as any other media news that has gone on, as our lovely little podcast here is for pretty much anything going on with nerd stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's pretty brave of us. I think it's pretty brave of two white guys like us to start a podcast.
Yes, never before seen concept. Never, never once.
We have like three 15-minute segments prepared. We're gonna see if this actually makes it on the radio actually, because my host here, Clayton, has some toes in pies. Let us say, he's got some connections with the radio business, shall we say?
That is a way to put what I have, yes.
Um,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
so, let's see. A lot of things have been going on the last couple of days. Like I said, we have that big Pokemon reveal. We got a lot of rumors and speculation about the upcoming Dragon Ball Battle Hour in, I think, April. But today we're mostly going to be focusing on Pokemon, as that is the most recent piece of information that we can get our hands on in terms of the biggest media franchise in the world, after all.
Indeed. We are both massive Pokemon fans, if you couldn't tell from the Pokemon shirt and his glorious Team Rocket hoodie. We
Can't
love
really see it
Pokemon.
at this angle, but yeah.
The anniversary was yesterday at the time of recording, and so this episode is going to be about Pokemon largely, but I think for this first segment, I wanted to do like a general sort of media vibe check. I have here what is called the Massive Rushmore. So Wikipedia defines massif as a principal mountain mass, such as a compact portion of a mountain range containing, if I could speak English, I would be dangerous, containing one or more summits. So, anime characters and manga characters, they have really spiky hair. So instead of doing a Mount Rushmore, I'd like to do a massive Rushmore where we discuss our, sort of top 4 anime, and or manga. If you prefer the manga over the anime, that's cool. That is the case for me in a couple of these cases. So yeah, Clayton, would you like to start us off? What is your massive Rushmore?
Ooh, top 4. Okay. Dragon Ball, without a doubt, is going to be
Absolutely.
on there. Just in general,
Yeah.
I've never not enjoyed the Dragon Ball series when I've seen it. Now, granted, I haven't watched GT in a while, but you know, uh, let me think.
Dragon Ball narrowly missed my list, but it is. I want to be clear. Dragon Ball is. We are both huge fans of Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Practically how we met was talking about that, more or less.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dragon Ball, most certainly. JoJo has become a big part of my life, not only because of the TTRPG that I run, just because I met a lot of people through it.
Mhm.
And that game would not exist without the franchise that it was connected to, so I probably have put it up there purely out of respect for that. Other two, though. That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it. It's always going to be a big recency bias for me because that's kind of how my brain works. Mobile Fighter G-Gundam has been a big recent re-obsession for me since I figured out that Blu-rays exist for it, and it has the dub, which I really like the dub of that show. So I got a hold of it, and I have been watching it through with a buddy of mine, and it has been reminding me how much I love that goofy show.
Solid.
It is the only Gundam show that I have watched to completion.
Wow. That is very cool.
We
Yeah.
spent the last 3 days pouring through the majority of its 49 episodes.
All
We're
right.
almost done,
So
as a
we
matter of
we got
fact.
Dragon Ball, JoJo, and Gundam.
Number 4, huh?
Yeah, number 4.
Why don't you go ahead and list
SC4.
some of yours? Because I haven't even. I'd have to think about that for 1 second. I'm running through the list in my head.
Yeah, for sure. So my anime slash manga top 4, my number 1 will always be Hunter x Hunter. Although I don't want to say always, never say never. Maybe something else will capture my heart. But I think Hunter x Hunter is not only the best anime slash manga. I think it's just the best piece of fiction ever created. Yeah, I would put it above Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet and all that. It is. It is genuinely profound. I think the amount of diverse story arcs in there. I mean, Togashi made an entire card game just for a single arc, Greed Island. Everybody knows about. Every anime fan knows that the Chimera Ant arc is one of those Oscar-worthy, critically acclaimed arcs full of symbolism and all that. But I also think that the Hunter exam is very underrated. It's an amazing tournament arc, and Heaven's Arena, you get introduced to probably the best power system in all of anime and manga, the Nen system. It's just so intricate and well used in the series. So Hunter x Hunter is going to be my number 1. I think my number 2 for anime is going to be Haikyuu. I just love watching those sweet boys try their best on a high school volleyball team. Just really great character development. It's really not about the volleyball. It's about the friends and the character development you make along the way. All of the characters on the team on Karasuno, go Crows, right? Fly high. And I think Haikyuu probably has the greatest soundtrack in all of anime. Maybe My Hero Academia is a close second. But yeah, really, really good soundtrack. And I think my number 3 is going to be the other Togashi series, which is Yu Yu Hakusho. Anime or manga, whatever, again, I think Togashi is just kind of the best at writing shonen stories. He is really good at deconstructing certain concepts and making it really interesting. Yu Yu Hakusho has 3 tournament arcs in it, so you can see why I like it so much. Albeit the last one is maybe not the
of course you
most. Oh yes, yeah. I mean, Dragon Ball, of course, has even more tournaments than that as well. Um, but yeah, I think even though the Three Kings arc in Yu Yu Hakusho is not the most popular, I still like it quite a bit because it gives some really interesting lore into Hiei and his sister and the demon world and all of that. So and then my number four, I think I'm gonna go with One Piece, the manga specifically. Um, I think if we're talking about the anime, yeah, it's really bad. The pacing is awful, but the manga is pretty
That's all
great.
I ever hear about it.
Yeah, the manga. I mean, the fight in Water 7 between two of the Straw Hat Pirates. I'm not gonna say who it is for spoilers, but I think you know what I'm talking about. That is probably the greatest fight in the series, and probably top five fights in general. And Ennis Lobby kills me every time. Whenever Robin says she wants to live, that brings me to tears every time. So yeah, One Piece is my number four, and that's my massive Rushmore. Clayton, you got a number four for me?
Um, Futo PI or Futo Detectives is a single season of anime that
Huh.
is based off of a manga of the same name, which is a sequel series to 2009's television hit Kamen Rider W. And it has stuck with me so much, both in terms of soundtrack and in terms of just visual presentation, because it got me back into tokusatsu, the Japanese
Mm,
television genre in
yeah.
general, and it got a lot of people I know into tokusatsu because of that. And so that has allowed me to meet a lot of new people because I got into a genre that I hadn't really connected with since Power Rangers. I want to say Samurai was the last Power Rangers season I watched as a kid, and kind of stepped away from it, and then got back into it thanks to that.
Solid, solid. Um, all right. Well, that is our massive Rushmores. If you have any snubs, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm sure many people will put some more modern stuff like Free Ren and JJK in their lists. So uh, I
You guys a pretty good show.
Yeah, I gotta say, okay, I did actually finish this Shibuya incident arc over the last semester. It kind of slaps a little bit. Now I gotta say, the problem with Jujutsu Kaisen is that sometimes the power system is a little bit ill defined, and a lot of times it is just jargon defeats jargon. But there are some really cool emotional moments in the second season, especially. So, yeah, pretty cool. I would say that it's definitely much more interesting than its other contemporaries, such as Demon Slayer or Solo Leveling. So, yeah.
Oh, don't say too much about solo leveling now. You'll attract the wrong kind of people.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we have our opinions. You have your opinions, and we all have opinions. And some are big, some are small, some are short, some are tall. And I'm gonna stop before I turn into
Some
Dr.
are.
Seuss.
Some are. Solo leveling is just okay.
Yep, yep, it's okay. Um, we have Clayton? How are we looking on time? We have to watch the time here.
That's a good question. My timer didn't start.
Okay. So that the funny thing is, I
The
forgot. I
funny thing
also
is,
forgot to
we are
say.
going to be right back as we have a segment we have to get to here in about a few minutes. So we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you, and see you in 1 minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the episode 1 of the ODDCAST. After our lovely little bit of ad break. So, let's see. I mentioned we could talk about the lovely Pokemon announcements that happened the other day.
Indeed. Yeah, for the 30th anniversary, they released this Pokemon Presents yesterday with all kinds of amazing things about Cafe Remix that we will get into very, very thoroughly.
Speaking of Pokemon Cafe, I have played it once. Well, for like a week. It's a very cute game. Although I cannot speak on anything about it really.
Yeah, me neither.
My
I never.
notes on my notes my notes on the presentation pretty much include, "This is cute."
That
Yeah.
is, that's pretty apt. I mean, look, there are so many like things that they have now that I feel like in 100 years, we will be getting like feature length Pokemon Presents. I mean, there's so many different apps and spin-offs. But yeah. Anyway, continue.
Um. Let's see. What else? What are some of the small things we could talk about from the presentation? Pokemon Sleep got a new small update of some
Honk
variety.
shoe, honk
I'm
shoe.
so I'm gonna be so real. I watched the trailer and I'm still not really sure what they added, other than
Yeah.
hey, we exist.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know what they added either. I think, yeah, I'm not even. I think it might just be a regular like PSA reminder, like, hey, get your sleep, kids. You gotta. That's when you grow. That's when your immune system works or something. That I don't know. Don't. Yeah. Don't take that into consideration. Take an anatomy class. Anyway, what's the next thing?
Well, let's see. In terms of the order of things, let's see. We got the very first announcement of the entire presentation was a little Game Boy music player that played the original OST
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the original games. That's a very cute little product.
Hmm.
Let's see. The Pokemon XP and Pokemon Championship is happening still this year in a much grander scale than before, where you'll see plenty of people from around come in to play the TCG in a championship tournament to playing the new Pokemon Stadium-esque game. The name just immediately left my brain.
Pokemon Champions, I
Champions.
believe.
I think it's called Champions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
So they actually got the Chase Center for this championship this year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. Much bigger than the previous area they chose. They have a lot more interactive stuff. They're going to have a set up Pokemon Center shop there, which by itself would make it worth going. You know what? We should go for the podcast. We can put it as a business expense.
Yeah, yeah. We'll put it on the credit card that doesn't exist. So.
Yes.
All right. And the interesting thing, the curious thing I'll say about Pokemon Champions is, I wonder if there's going to be like different formats that are not necessarily, compatible with each other, like Showdown, where you can specifically have a fight in Gen 1 or Gen 4 or Gen 6, and because there are so many mechanics in these games at this point where it seems impossible to have a battle with Mega Evolution and Z
All of
moves
them?
and Gigantamax and Terrestrialization,
I imagine that's how they have to break it down, because unless we want to try to make
Yeah.
this game Yu-Gi-Oh, where everything is allowed at all times and it's massive rule bloat, then I mean, I don't know, having Mega Lucario fight a Gigantamax Pikachu would truly be the greatest thing in the world, but I don't think it would work very well mechanically.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, as somebody who likes Hunter x Hunter, I mean, you guys probably won't be surprised. I love like the complicatedness, the complexity of Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. I personally would not complain, but I think a lot of other people would take issue. I think it would come to the chagrin of many competitive players around the world. So, yeah, probably
Don't
break it
introduce
up.
pendulum summoning.
Probably, but yeah, exactly, and break it up into
Pendulum
different.
Pokemon.
But I'm super excited about Champions. I loved playing Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 on the Nintendo 64 as a kid, so yeah.
It does look really good.
Hmm.
Like I am pretty excited to see how it's going to be like different, or if it's going to like what it's going to be. I think it's Champions is set to release April of 26, and is a mobile version, quote, later this year, whatever later this year means. It could release in December. It could release December 30th.
It could release May 2nd.
It could release tomorrow.
I don't think that's how time works, but
No.
but we'll put a finger on that one. Okay, we'll take a pin in it. All right.
Let's see what else went on at the
Pokemon Unite.
Right. Masters.
Okay.
Oh, and Unite.
Yeah.
Unite got let's see. Unite got Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, as well as it was announced Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr.
Yep.
Unite seems like an interesting little game. I haven't really played it. I've played League once, so I obviously I'm the region expert on on those kinds of games.
Yeah, I've never played Unite. I've never even played a single MOBA, I don't think, so it's completely
I've
foreign.
played Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra is probably the most recent MOBA that I have played.
Okay. Yeah, solid.
It is a Dragon Ball MOBA. It is pretty fun.
Okay.
A little goofy. And yeah, well, that's the
So Pokemon Master, you know what? Pokemon Masters EX has always been a fascinating sort of app. I tried it out a few times when it first came out. The gameplay was not really for me, but I really loved the idea of putting all of these iconic trainers from the series, including all the protagonists and the rivals and the champions, into one kind of cohesive storyline. So I really like that idea of having... It reminds me of the old days of looking on fanfiction.net and seeing a whole bunch of like Pokemon fanfiction of like the Dex holders and like who are all the people that have a Pokedex, and let's have a massive tournament where Lucas from Diamond and Pearl fights Serena from X and Y, you know, like all these fun matchups. So Masters EX is endlessly entertaining in that sense, but I never really got behind the gameplay of it, unfortunately.
the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Red, but like 1996, Red is being added to Pokemon Masters. Florian and Ogerpon is also going to be in Masters, and Juliana and Terrapagos. Terrapagos? The
Terrapagos?
Crystal Turtle. Terrapagos. That's the one. Terrapagos. I didn't know that. I mean, of course they have names. I just didn't know what those names were.
Yeah.
I did not know Florian and Juliana had names.
The last few names have
Of course
really
they have names.
escaped me. I mean, Florian and Juliana. What was the one? I mean, I think Legends Arceus. What was that? Like Ray and Akari or something? Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
so.
I think
I'm actually not sure.
I kind of lost track. I tried to go back and memorize them after X and Y, but I lost track because like there's Elio and Celine in Sun and Moon, I think, and then like, and of course with Let's Go they added characters that aren't red, blue, and green. So you have like Chase and Elaine, I think, are the anyway. We're getting sidetracked.
Could not tell you. I could not tell you what the protagonists of Let's Go are named. Let's see. Oh, TCG. TCG Pocket is getting Paldean themed
Okay.
card packs.
Yeah.
As well as special game accessories for missions that completed anytime between now and the next 30 days. I don't know anything else beyond that. I have not played TCG Pocket in quite a long time, and yeah.
So
I've played TCG in general in a long time.
I will say TCG Pocket is the one app / spinoff that I have actually engaged with the most. Honestly, I log on there most days, and like open up a pack and share cards with other people and do the single player battles. And sometimes I'll screw up the courage to go online and get my Tookus handed to me with my Infernape deck. but and I was also using. You know what? I will say I did use a Giratina deck for the very first competitive season that rolled around, and I got to Ultra Ball rank with that one. So I'm pretty proud of that. But yeah, the TCG Pocket is an amazing, amazing app. I think it's a great way. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, where it kind of simplifies the rules of the Pokemon TCG. And instead of having to win 6 points, you only have to win 3. And yeah, it's just a great little experience. But of course, there's also the regular TCG app that people have been playing for years, which is also excellent. But yeah, TCG Pocket is I totally recommend it. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
Well, in terms of other announcements that came out from the premiere, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is coming to the GameCube category on Switch Online, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Haven't had an actual chance to play that game, but Lord knows when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Shadow Lugia because it was edgy.
Yes, indeed.
And purple.
The ultimate fanfiction.net Pokemon was Shadow Lugia. I think, and Shadow Ho-Oh, of course, was, yeah, and Shadow Mewtwo, you're right. But I think, like, I've never played XD Gale of Darkness either. I've been meaning to play it. I have played Colosseum. Actually, right after I got my wisdom teeth pulled, my comfort game was Pokemon Colosseum, and I played it. I got my GameCube copy of it and stuck it in the Wii, and just completely just beat Pokemon Colosseum as I was trying to make my gums stop bleeding. So what was the next thing in the Pokemon Presents?
Let's see. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are, as far as I'm aware, available.
Yep.
They are, going to be available. They are download only. They are set to have Pokemon Home compatibility released at some point, so you can transfer Pokemon from it into Home and transfer them out to different Pokemon games. That's pretty cool, a set of backwards compatibility for those old ROMs. Leaf Green was in fact how I started playing Pokemon alongside my copy of Pokemon Emerald on my GBA that I was given to me at a Chili's.
Wow, we need to get into that story. Okay, yeah. We'll save that for the next segment.
I don't remember all... Yeah, it wasn't for the next 7, but man, that's how I got into Pokemon right there. Let's see, what else is going on? Mega Dimensions, the DLC for ZA, had a new announcement showing off some new elements to it, but also showing off Mega Garchomp Z.
Clayton, can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
You need to. Okay, we need to keep this between us. And
and the public.
And the public. I have a lot of trouble finding any trivial, actually, let me say, any significant difference between Mega Garchomp Z and the other Mega Garchomps. Forgive me, folks. I can't. I don't know. They all run together, okay? And frankly, I don't know if Garchomp ever needed a Mega Evolution to begin with, but here we are. So I don't know.
He has little blades on his blade hands. I assume that was Mega. Actually, now that you say that, I don't know which one is which. I genuinely don't remember what the regular Mega Garchomp looks like. It's so when we saw the Z one, I'm like, oh, hey, cool, Mega Garchomp. Wait, didn't he already have a Mega?
Yeah, it does.
I assumed the one with the little blades on his blade hands.
Yeah,
is
it's
Z.
I'm
actually not sure.
I think he does. I think it's the Batman spikes
here
on his arm. So, yeah.
Alrighty, and with that little discussion of Mega Garchomp Z and what is and isn't, we will be right back for the next segment. We'll cover a little bit more news and tell you more about what's going on in the world of media and probably more Pokemon. Hello, everybody. We are back for our third and final segment for the evening after our lovely little ad break.
Indeed.
That may or may not be there depending upon what your platform you're viewing this on. So, let's see. To pick back up where we left off, we were talking about the last announcements quickly going over the announcements from the Pokemon Presents. Let's see. Which means the last two things would be Pokepia
Mm-hmm.
the lovely, as I keep calling it, Animal Crossing-like
Yeah.
Pokemon game. Let's see.
Yep. First,
It looks so cute.
Pokemon tried to be Breath of the Wild with Legends Arceus, and now it's trying to be Animal Crossing. So, yes, the Ditto people are, the Ditto person is
Ditto person.
frankly it's enchanting, shall I say?
It's kind of cute, although a little unsettling that Ditto can transform into a person. But
Yeah.
then again, if Pokemon Detective Pikachu taught me anything, Ditto can really mess a guy up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. To go over the trailer a little bit, there was a Rotom in a stereo system.
Yeah.
He's DJ Rotom now.
Rotom has taken. I think Rotom is now rivaling the amount of occupations that Mario has had over the years. I mean, Rotom has been a Pokedex, Rotom has been a stereo system, Rotom has been a television. So, what's next? Is Rotom going to be a Samsung fridge? Who knows? Who knows?
Isn't there already a fridge
Not a Samsung fridge.
version of Rotom? Oh.
Yeah,
of course.
that'll be the
Gotta have that smart fridge.
yeah, that'll be the regional
Whatever
variant.
smart fridge is a thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, the regional variant. Also, you can cook. You can cook, taught by Chef Dante the Greedent, which can seem like it can enhance your abilities when it comes to building stuff for your island or doing other things on the island.
Yeah.
And they also showed us a bit more of what the multiplayer is supposed to look like. Which you can visit people's towns. You guys can play little games. You can also you can transform into objects to kind of play hide and seek, which seemed pretty cute. You can also build together.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer, they built like a out of blocks. They built like a big Ditto, which I think is super cute. That's a fun little feature, and apparently you can even go on little adventures, and apparently find mysterious things.
Yes.
Like a lightning dog, lion, whatever Bryco is.
So, would you like to get into the wind and wave shaped elephant in the room?
How does one make a wind elephant or a wave elephant? Is a wave elephant a whale? Anyways, so Gen 10 got announced. Which I guess is something that pretty much everybody was expecting with the 30th anniversary and this big announcement. If they didn't have this, people probably be pretty disappointed. And honestly, the extra time that was given to this game clearly shows, even in the trailer. I think a lot of it graphical fidelity looks a lot better. The water is not just a texture.
Yeah.
Nobody is complaining about trees this time. And now that no one's see, here's the thing. You can tell the Pokemon community is really happy about the Gen 10 trailer when instead of complaining about graphics and textures, they're just drawing a picture of the new dog starter getting blasted by wind. It's windy.
Yeah, I think the 3-star. So let's take a little side break here. What starter do you anticipate choosing for this?
Oh gosh. Okay. Brout is a little angry grass bird.
Yes.
We've had grass birds before, but this guy he looks a little mad, and I like him for that.
Yeah.
Pom is a fire Pomeranian. How could I not greatly consider picking the fire Pomeranian?
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute, and he's so fluffy. And I've seen him drawn either being blasted by wind or just wet because wind and waves.
And he's going to stand out.
My timeline since yesterday has been filled with just art of the new trio, and it is beautiful.
Yeah. Gekwa, the third one.
Gekwa, that's how you pronounce that name.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like how it looks. It looks really derpy and weird. It's like riding the line between a goth and really dorky, and I'm not sure what it just looks like. A mini Greninja that's
Goth
drawn from
lizard.
memory,
I think that's really charming, personally.
Okay.
I think it's adorable. It looks like it's inspiration. Honestly, have you seen lizards? They're just little guys.
They are little
Those
guys.
little guys that got big eyes, they have no eyelids. They gotta lick them eyeballs to keep them moisturized.
Hmm. Yeah.
Trying to
So
learn a lot of lizard facts lately, thanks to a friend of mine who has had a big obsession with them.
oh, I see. Okay. Living in California now, I do see lizards almost every day, and they are a delight for sure. I think I think my choice here is probably going to be Brout. I'm a big fan of flying types. Flying types are probably my favorite
Hmm.
Pokemon type. And yeah, it seems like the last few generations I've just been picking the grass type. I mean, Rowlet and Snivy and Brout, and Sprigatito, So um, yeah, pretty cool. But Winds and Waves looks decent. I think I'm not a fan of how the protagonists look necessarily, but um,
Do you
just
want to have a cowboy hat, or do you want to look like you work at a Walmart? Personally, I kind of want to go for the Walmart look.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I kind of hope the customization from ZA stays in Wind and Waves,
Yeah.
because the character customization in Pokemon ZA is fantastic. It is one of my favorite parts of that entire game. I spend most of my money in that game on clothes.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You gotta fight on the runway as much as you fight in Pokemon battles, Ethan.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, on that note, would you like to move on to how we got into Pokemon as a franchise?
Yeah. We brought it up before, but I got into Pokemon. At least my earliest memories that I can recall from Pokemon. I was in a Chili's, and I was given a Game Boy Advance. I do not remember what year this was. I don't remember how old I was. I don't remember what year it was. I just remember I was at a Chili's with my family and a friend of our family, like a friend's family, and God, I don't remember who this was, and I feel bad about that, but I just genuinely don't. I was given a DS
Mhm.
by one of the dads that was there. Not a DS, a Game Boy. Ugh. I was given a bag with a couple of different GBA games, a a Game Boy Advanced SP,
Mhm.
and like a classic Game Boy Advance, like the one that's kind of like that doesn't fold open. I forget the name, if it has a special name. Uh, and it had a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green, Pokemon Emerald, and I want to say a Mario game of some kind. The name escapes me. It's been a while. I think I still have the actual like Ziploc bag I was handed this in. It's probably still in my shelf back there, where I keep
Wow.
some of my Game Boy games still. Which is amazing that it's survived nearly 2 decades.
Mm. Yeah.
And from there, I kind of just flip flopped between Leaf Green and Emerald. Kept getting stuck because I was like 6 and didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. I feel that.
Uh, mm-hmm. And yeah, that's kind of how I got started with the franchise overall. Uh, but
So,
I that is my Chili's Game Boy story. That's how I first got a Game Boy, and that Chili's no longer exists. It has been torn down. It's currently being built something new
yes.
entirely.
Yeah.
I think it's Chick-fil-A.
So Clayton and I used to live in the same city, and the Chili's. I think we both have lots of good family memories at Chili's, but the we never went there together though. We
We did not.
always went to Perkins
Um,
or something like that. But
mm-hmm.
um,
We always went to Perkins. Never went to Chili's. Chili's, I, I don't really remember what a lot of their food is like. I remember like one specific dessert,
mhm.
and that's like all I remember about
I
Chili's.
think I'm fond of their chicken dippers as well as their southwestern egg rolls. But but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
my Pokemon origin story is like I think maybe the audience saw that I was kind of like putting my hand over my mouth in the Ziploc bag story, because that is almost bar for bar what my origin story is as well. Because it all started. So I was going to piano lessons as a kid. Again, like probably 6 or 7 years old, and this other student, she was an adult student, taking from the same teacher. Her name was Tracy, I believe, and she gave me a Ziploc bag with an original Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance in it with a few games. And one of those games was Pokemon Silver. Another one was Yellow. So I started with Silver, and at that time, the only video games that I had ever played were like, Super Mario World and just platformers like that. And so I booted up the game, and I was like, man, this is like the worst platformer ever. There's like no obstacles. What's going on? I can't. I'm walking into doors, and like none of these people want to kill me. So what's going on?
Where's the jump?
Exactly. So I didn't understand like the top-down view. So anyway, a few years later, maybe when I was like 8 years old or so, I had this babysitter, and because both of my parents were working, and so he would come over sometimes, and he introduced me to a whole bunch of different things, including Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and Bakugan, and stuff like that. And so one time I went to an antique store, and I was like, "Hey, this Pokemon thing looks pretty cool. I'll check out." And I picked out a VHS tape of the Pokemon Indigo League anime. It was like 3 or 4 episodes on the VHS tape. It had that stretch of episodes where Todd Snap was joining Ash and his friends. I think it was like before or after he got his 7th gym badge at Cinnabar Island, in the Indigo League. And from there, I was hooked. I was like, this is a really cool concept and thing. So I picked Pokemon Silver back up. I played it a whole bunch. That was my first ever Pokemon game, and the rest is history. I think the first Pokemon game I ever beat was Pokemon Yellow, and I actually did start with Generation 1, basically. I beat Pokemon Yellow, and I played a lot of Stadium on the Nintendo 64, and watched a lot of the Indigo League anime, that's basically that's basically our Genesis. I believe that's the plural of Genesis. So, there you go.
I could not tell you. I never thought what the plural of Genesis would even be.
It's probably not.
Genesect. The Pokemon, obviously.
Yes. I wish we had a segue, but unfortunately we did not plan a segment around Genesect today. So we did plan a segment around the other 1024 Pokemon, though. So I hope you'll bear with us for the next 16 hours.
All right. So, what are the odds that Gen 10 has voice acting? In our last little bit of segment, what do you think is gonna happen this time?
Okay, so here's
people have been talking about it for forever.
Here's what. So I think the odds are similar to this. I think if you took the surface area of a Japanese ladybug, and then divided by the surface area of I'm gonna say like the star Beetlejuice. I think that might be similar to the odds of voice acting being in the next game.
Well, you heard it here. That is at the odds. Me personally, I think it'd be cool if it, like, minimum, it had, like, cutscene voice acting. Because the only thing that really bothered me the last couple of games was that in cutscenes, they were animated in such a way that looked like they should have it, but they don't. That made it awkward. And with that, we're almost out of time for this lovely evening. Thank you for joining us for our Little Misadventure and our first episode, talking mostly about Pokemon. But next time we're going to talk about a bit more media news, kind of spread up our diversity of content, and talk about all the things going on in the world of nerd stuff. Thank you. Have a good afternoon,
Thank you so
morning,
much.
or night.
Thank you, everybody.